The two of them stared into each other's eyes for about 10 seconds before the director screamed in satisfaction, "Good, not bad. Prepare for the next scene." The moment the director said his first word, Lu Jinian ripped away from Qiao Anhao's wrist. He stumbled back a little, then around and took quick strides away. "Mr. Lu." The assistant watched Lu Jinian finish filming, and then immediately brought over a bottle of water for him. Lu Jinian didn't bother with his assistant, just continued striding towards his personal van. He slid open the door and sat down inside. The assistant hurriedly followed him to the car, where he discovered that Lu Jinian was pale white. He furrowed his eyebrows, and just as he was going to ask his employer if he felt uncomfortable somewhere, he took notice of Lu Jinian's light blue shirt that he wore for the shoot. On the back, there were a few dots of bright red. The assistant's eyes widened. "Mr. Lu, why is there blood on your back?" Lu Jinian's eyebrows creased, but he didn't say a word. He unbuttoned his shirt and pulled it off. The assistant then saw that on the left side of Lu Jinian's back was a large gash from his shoulder to his waist. The most serious part, the deep gash, was now bleeding. "Mr. Lu, you're hurt this bad. Why didn't you say anything?" The assistant threw the water bottle in. His hands aside onto the car seat. Then, he started rummaging through his body bag for an ointment. After looking for a while, he suddenly remembered that Mr. Lu had given it to Miss Qiao yesterday. He grabbed straight for the car keys and said, "I'll take you to the hospital now and get some medicine." "Not necessary," Lu Jinian said in a cold voice to stop his assistant. Because of the pain, he took a deep breath before ordering him, "Don't let anyone know that I'm injured." Since Lu Jinian's mother had passed away, it wasn't like he'd never been sick before, but there was just no one who cared. He was already used to looking after himself. At one point, Grandpa had allowed for him to join the Xu family's New Year's Eve family dinner. When he went to see the fireworks with Xu Jiamu that night, the latter had an accident. His fingers got burnt and were a little red. The entire Xu family circled him, some even blamed Lin Jinian for not looking after Xu Jiamu well. Everyone crowded around Xu Jiamu when they entered the house, called a doctor and doted on their precious child. They left Lu Jinian all alone in the courtyard. No one realized that the palms of his hands were blurred with flesh and blood. Compared to Xu Jiamu, he was several times more severely injured, but they didn't look for it, so they didn't realize. No one bothered to care that if he hadn't used his hands to scatter the fireworks at the right time, then perhaps Xu Jiamu would have been left blind. Most of the time, after being neglected too often, one will just no longer want to let others know when they're hurt.